Wow, that's such a cool idea to build. Why didn't I figure it out myself? Let's learn how to build a chest.
Round 1.
So today, I am building a giant chest. A regular Minecraft chest, just huge. I start with the base from brown terracotta. Brown terracotta is perfect for a wooden chest. It has a warm brown shade. First, I build the bottom square. This will be the bottom of the chest. The size is big enough to walk inside. The square is done. Now I raise the walls up. From the bottom square, I build a cube. Walls go up on all sides. Brown terracotta everywhere. This will be the main part of the chest where you put things. The cube turns out even and symmetrical. Now I add an additional stripe on top. This is where the chest opens. The stripe separates the bottom part from the lid. In a real chest, this is where the line between body and lid goes. The brown outline is ready. Now I need to fill the inner part with a different color. I take yellow terracotta. Yellow terracotta is the light wood inside the chest. In the game, a chest has a brown frame and yellow middle. I am reproducing this texture at a large scale. I start with the left side. I fill everything up to the opening stripe. Yellow fills the space inside the brown frame. Then I do the bottom. Back wall. Right side and front. All sides of the lower chest part are now yellow and brown. Brown edge, yellow middle, exactly like the chest texture in the game, only 100 times bigger. Using the same principle, I fill the chest lid. The lid is the upper part above the opening stripe. Yellow terracotta fills all sides of the lid. Left, bottom, back, right, front. I methodically go around the whole perimeter. The lid is done. One last detail remains. In front, I build the chest lock. I use white concrete and light gray concrete. White and light gray concrete imitate a metal lock. Phew, it took so much effort. Great, my chest is ready.
What? Hello?
Hey, Banana Kid, look, I built it. Do you like?
No.
What? Do you think I should have added more colors to make my chest look less flat? I think you're right. Maybe then you'll try to build a better chest yourself?
Yay!
They ran to the place. This is where your building will be. Are you ready?
Ta-da!
Then go ahead.
Round 2.
Oh, Banana Kid is also building a chest, but his chest is from diamond blocks. Diamond blocks for a chest, that is very expensive. A whole fortune spent on a box for storing things. Although it looks beautiful, I will not argue. The blue color of diamonds is bright and shiny. He builds using the same principle as me. First the bottom square, then a cube, then the opening stripe. The basic chest shape is the same for everyone. The area between the lid and the main chest part Banana Kid makes from cyan concrete and light blue concrete. Cyan and light blue concrete. 2 shades of blue next to the diamonds. An interesting combination. I would probably use one color, but Banana Kid loves details. Different shades create the opening stripe. It is like hinges on a real chest. The blue palette continues throughout the whole build. Now, Banana Kid does something strange. He fills the bottom part of the chest with glass. Regular transparent glass. A glass chest? That is unusual. I made mine from terracotta like real wood, but Banana Kid will have a transparent one. You will be able to see what is inside without opening the lid. Although, why do you need a lid then? Okay, that is his choice. A glass diamond chest sounds luxurious. Glass lets light pass right through. The chest will glow from inside if you put torches there. Or just show the contents to everyone around. No privacy for your things at all. Everyone will see what you store. Diamonds, gold, or just cobblestone. Banana Kid clearly wants to show off his wealth. Diamond frame and glass walls. It is a display case, not a chest, really. Banana Kid step by step fills the side walls of the chest with glass. First one side, then another. He works methodically around the perimeter. The back wall is also glass. The front too. The whole chest becomes transparent. Only the diamond edges remain opaque. They are like a frame for the glass panels. The structure reads very clearly. Blue frame, transparent walls all around. Glass walls create an interesting effect. The chest looks light and airy. Mine from terracotta is heavy and solid, but this one is like a crystal box. For jewelry, probably, or for displaying trophies. A museum display case in chest form. Banana Kid thinks outside the box. I would not have thought to make a glass chest, but now I see that it works well. Now Banana Kid fills the inner part of the stripe between lid and chest, also with glass. Even this detail is transparent. The whole chest will be see-through completely. Not one solid section except the diamond frame. Maximum transparency achieved. Light will pass through all walls. During the day, the chest will shine in the sun. At night, you can light it from inside. He moves to the chest lid. The side parts of the lid he also fills with glass. The same principle as below. Step by step, he goes around all sides. Left, right, front, back. Glass everywhere. The lid becomes just as transparent as the base. A unified style from top to bottom. Banana Kid is consistent in his design. If glass, then glass everywhere. No exceptions at all. On top, Banana Kid fills the lid with blocks. The top of the lid is not transparent. Finally, not glass. Probably diamond blocks, or glass on top would look strange. You need at least some solid surface there. The lid closes the chest from above. Now the shape is fully complete. Just need to add a lock in front for the full picture. Banana Kid builds a lock on the chest. He uses cyan concrete and light blue concrete. Cyan and light blue concrete like in the opening stripe. The color theme continues throughout. The lock is small relative to the chest size, but it is noticeable thanks to the color. A blue lock on a glass wall. It contrasts with the transparency around it, and the diamond glass chest by Banana Kid is done.
Where did everyone run off to? Hey guys, what's all that noise?
Banana Kid and I are building a chest, JJ. Who did it better?
Oh, both of your buildings look great, but I think it's up to the audience to decide who did the best.
Yes, JJ, you're right. Maybe then you have comments on the construction of Banana Kid?
Yes, there are a couple of comments. Your chest is so weird. It's almost completely glass. He's very fragile.
I totally agree with you, JJ. Maybe you will build a chest?
Okay, then let's run to the place.
JJ, good luck to you. We'll wait in the house.
What?
Thanks guys, then I'm starting. Round 3. Now, I will show you how to build not just a chest, but a mimic chest. A mimic is a legendary monster from role-playing games that pretends to be an ordinary treasure chest. When an unsuspecting player tries to open it, the mimic suddenly attacks, a very cunning and dangerous creature. This monster became iconic thanks to the Dark Souls game series. Their mimics wait in the most unexpected places. Players learn to hit every chest before opening it. I start with an outline from gray concrete. Gray concrete forms the frame of a large rectangular box. This will be the base for the massive mimic body. The size is impressive. You can fully live inside. The outline defines the boundaries of the entire build. Gray color is neutral and will later be replaced with other materials. But first, it is important to build the correct shape and proportions of the whole structure. Gray concrete serves as a temporary frame for understanding the scale. It clearly shows the shape and dimensions of the future monster. Later, I will replace most of it with final materials. But first, I need to understand the proportions and make sure everything is correct. The box is elongated in length like a real chest. This is the classic shape that everyone recognizes. Only my chest will have sharp teeth and a disgusting tongue. A real monster disguised as a peaceful piece of furniture. Experienced gamers know what to expect from such chests. Never trust a chest that stands too conveniently, especially if there are no enemies around. This is a classic dungeon trap. The mimic waits patiently, sometimes for years, until some greedy adventurer decides to check what is inside. Now I use commands for quick filling of large surfaces. With special commands, I fill the bottom part of the chest with brown terracotta. Brown terracotta perfectly imitates the color of an old wooden chest. Commands save a huge amount of time when working with large volumes. Manually replacing each block would take several hours, but with one command, I fill an entire wall in a second. Then, I process the side walls with the same brown terracotta, the back wall too, and finally, the front part. All main surfaces of the lower chest part have now acquired the correct brown color. Terracotta has a pleasant texture that differs from smooth concrete. It looks more natural, like real aged wood. This is important for creating a convincing chest image. Commands are a powerful tool that every serious builder should master. They allow replacing hundreds and thousands of blocks instantly. Professional builders must know how to use them. This is not cheating. This is efficiency. Of course, it is important to understand what exactly you are building. Commands do not replace creative thinking and artistic vision of the project. They only speed up routine mechanical work of filling surfaces. Creative decisions are still made by me personally. What material to use, what shape to create, how to arrange details. This is all my work. Commands just execute my ideas faster than manual labor. Time savings allow focusing on things that really matter. In front at the top, I start rebuilding the chest edge. I make it convex and uneven instead of a perfectly straight line. This is no longer a neat man-made chest. This is a living creature pretending to be a piece of furniture. Bumps and bulges show that the wood is deformed from inside. Something alive is pushing against it. A mimic is not a real chest made of boards and nails. It only imitates the chest shape, but does it imperfectly. An attentive and experienced player will notice something is wrong here. The lines are too organic for carpentry work. The bulging, deformed edge is the first alarming hint of hidden danger. The chest seems to breathe and barely noticeably moves. If you look closely, you can see it pulsing. The deformed edge creates a truly organic living look. A mimic is a living creature of flesh and magic. It moves, breathes, senses approaching prey. Its body cannot be perfectly smooth like a real chest. I add blocks in random places to create bumps. I remove blocks in other places, creating depressions and dents. I form an irregular organic surface that looks alive. This requires artistic sense and understanding of anatomy. You need to understand how living creatures look compared to man-made objects. They are always asymmetrical and uneven. They have flaws and irregularities. This is exactly what I am recreating in my build. Every bump adds realism. The upper part of the chest I start filling with red terracotta. Red terracotta will depict the lower part of the mimic mouth. The inside of its huge maw is red like living gums and flesh. I create an uneven, bumpy surface typical of organic tissue. A living creature's mouth is never smooth like polished stone. It has complex texture with many details. Folds of mucous membrane, muscle bulges, depressions between them. All this I recreate from terracotta blocks. Red color by itself is aggressive and threatening. It is associated with blood and danger on a subconscious level. Anyone who looks inside will immediately understand this is not an ordinary chest. This is the maw of a predator ready to attack. Red mouth walls create a creepy atmosphere. The mimic mouth is its main and most deadly weapon. Huge jaws can capture and crush a careless treasure hunter in a second. Red terracotta excellently imitates living flesh thanks to its texture. It is not as smooth as concrete. It has slight roughness that resembles skin or muscle tissue. This adds realism to the monster's oral cavity. Rows of sharp teeth will soon appear on top. A disgusting tongue will writhe below. It will be a fully functional monster maw hidden inside an innocent-looking chest. The classic mimic image familiar to everyone from Dark Souls games and other RPGs. There, these creatures became a real nightmare for players. You never know which chest will turn out to be a trap. On top, I start building the lower mimic teeth from block of quartz. Quartz blocks are perfectly white like bleached bones or predator fangs. This is the perfect material for creating terrifying monster teeth. I build columns of 2 blocks each. They stick up from the red flesh of the lower jaw. Teeth are placed in front along the entire edge and continue approximately halfway along the sides. The mimic lower jaw has bared rows of sharp fangs ready to tear the victim apart. White columns stick up like a deadly palisade. Between them yawns the darkness of the throat, ready to swallow the careless adventurer. A terrifying sight for anyone who dares to look inside this chest. Each tooth is like a small tombstone for the future victim. There are many of them, and they look incredibly sharp. But for now, the teeth are too rectangular and blunt at the ends. I need to give them real predatory sharpness. I use quartz fence to sharpen the tip of each tooth. Quartz fences are significantly thinner than full blocks. They create sharp, needle-like tips on top of the teeth. Now the fangs look truly dangerous, capable of piercing anything. I add end rod to some particularly large teeth. End rods have a unique property. They glow slightly in the dark with soft white light. This creates an eerie, ominous effect. The mimic teeth seem to shimmer with their own otherworldly light, as if they are covered with glowing saliva or some magical poison. This makes the monster even more otherworldly and frightening. End rod on the tooth tips create a truly nightmarish effect, a faint, ghostly glow in the dark depths of the maw, as if each tooth is a separate living creature, or covered with some glowing substance of unknown origin. Details like these make the monster truly scary and memorable. It burns into the memory of anyone who sees it. Each tooth differs slightly from its neighbors in shape and size. Some are longer and more massive, others are shorter and thinner. This creates a natural, chaotic look of a real predator mouth. Perfectly even identical teeth would look too artificial, like dentures or decoration. But I need a convincing living maw, one that looks like it could snap shut at any moment. Now I build the most disgusting element of the mimic, its tongue. I use purple terracotta to create this vile organ. Purple terracotta will give the tongue an unnatural, sickly color. The mimic tongue is sticking out of the mouth. It writhes between the lower teeth like a fat slug, slightly twisted and bent in an unnatural pose. The tongue looks like a demon tongue or some deep-sea creature tongue. Purple color looks unnatural and repulsive. This is clearly not a normal healthy creature. A mimic is a spawn of dark magic or chaos, a cursed creature from another dimension. Its purple tongue reflects its twisted otherworldly essence. It is literally not of this world. The tongue greedily writhes between the sharp lower teeth. It is long, thick, and fleshy. It looks wet and slippery. The tip of the tongue may be forked like a snake, or just pointed like a stinger. Purple terracotta has a rich, deep color. It stands out sharply against the red mouth flesh. This contrast immediately attracts attention. The gaze of any viewer immediately falls on this disgusting, writhing organ. The tongue makes the mimic even more disgusting and frightening. No normal person would want to approach such a chest. One look at this creature causes instinctive revulsion, a desire to run as far away as possible. This is exactly the effect I was going for with my design. Now I move to creating the upper part of the mimic. I start building the base for the half-open chest lid. I use gray concrete to create the upper jaw frame. The chest lid is not completely closed. It is raised at an angle, revealing the maw. The mimic is in a state of readiness to attack. Or perhaps it has already caught its victim and is chewing it. I build the lid edges very carefully and neatly. I pay special attention and spend a lot of time on the front part of the structure. That is where the lid curves to form the upper jaw of the monster. It hangs over the lower part threateningly and predatorily, like a shark mouth ready to close on prey. The shape of this part is critically important for the whole image. The front part of the lid has a complex, organic shape. It is not flat at all, but bulging outward. It looks like an upper lip hanging over rows of teeth. I will spend quite a lot of time working on this crucial detail. The correct shape of the front part determines the entire facial expression of the mimic, its character and mood, the aggressive, hungry expression of a predator. The upper jaw looks like it is ready to snap shut any second. One wrong step by an approaching player, and the deadly trap will spring. The jaws will close with terrifying force. Teeth will pierce the victim from all sides. There will be no escape. This is exactly the threat my mimic pose should convey, a lurking predator before the leap. The side parts of the lid I start filling with brown terracotta. Brown terracotta continues the color scheme of the lower chest part. From outside, the mimic should look like an ordinary wooden chest. Brown aged wood covers all external surfaces. Only from inside can you see the red gums and white fangs. Outside is complete innocence, just a chest with treasures. This contrast between external and internal is the main essence of the mimic as a monster. Outside, it promises riches and rewards. Inside, it hides an agonizing death, bait and trap in one creature. The evolutionary perfection of an ambush predator. It does not chase its prey. It makes the prey come to it willingly, and the victim's greed becomes its downfall. Now, I fill the upper part of the lid, making it voluminous and massive. The mimic lid is not a thin wooden plate like on a real chest. It is thick and heavy, like the real body of a living creature. Brown terracotta covers the entire upper surface completely. The lid becomes an organic continuation of the monster body, not a separate part, but a part of a unified whole. It moves as part of a living organism, opens and closes like a jaw rather than a lid on hinges. A mimic is not a chest with an attached living lid. It is a whole creature that has taken the form of a chest. Every part of it is alive and dangerous. Even what looks like ordinary wooden boards is actually monster flesh, skin of the creature disguised as wood. Inside the upper part of the lid, I build a wide stripe from red terracotta. This will be the upper part of the mimic mouth, its palate, upper gums, and throat. Red terracotta continues the living flesh theme started below. The upper and lower parts of the mouth are made in the same style. The same red color, similar bumpy texture. When the mouth closes, they come together forming a single cavity. The unfortunate victim finds themselves trapped between two red walls of living flesh, surrounded on all sides by rows of the sharpest white teeth. Lower fangs enter the gaps between upper ones, creating an impenetrable grate from which escape is impossible. A nightmare image for any adventurer who realized their mistake too late. I fill the backside of the lid with brown terracotta, completing the exterior. All outer surfaces are now covered with brown material imitating wood. A unified color creates a convincing illusion of an ordinary old chest. From behind and from the sides, the mimic looks absolutely normal and safe. Just a worn wooden box for storing things. Only if you walk around to the front does the horrifying truth reveal itself. A gaping mouth full of teeth and with a writhing tongue. If you approach the mimic from behind, you might not notice the danger at all, until it is too late. Mimics use this feature for hunting. They turn their closed side toward passages, so the victim does not suspect anything until the last moment. Under the lid, I start building up additional layers of mimic skin. This is the transition zone between the lid and the mouth itself. I use brown terracotta of different shades to create depth. The transition from the outer wooden lid to the inner red mouth should be smooth and natural. A mimic is an organic creature, not a mechanism. Its parts are connected by living tissue. Skin and flesh connect the lid jaw to the main chest body. In the thinnest places, I use brown terracotta slabs. Slabs are thinner than regular blocks and allow creating more detailed edges. The mimic lips turn out realistic and looking mobile. The mouth looks capable of opening wide and snapping shut. Maximum realism for a creature made of cubes. Detailing the mouth takes a lot of time and requires patience, but the result is definitely worth the effort spent. Every fold of skin, every curve of lips and transition between materials. All this together makes the mimic truly alive and convincing. It does not look like a static statue or decoration. It seems capable of moving, breathing, and biting. Realism lies in small details that most do not notice consciously, but subconsciously, the brain reads them and forms an overall impression. The more correct small things there are, the more convincing the whole looks. This is a professional approach to building any creatures and characters. Not only monsters, but also peaceful mobs. Details decide everything in visual design. Now I build the upper mimic teeth using the same principle as for the lower ones. Block of quartz for the base of each fang, quartz fence for sharpening the tips, and end rod for creating the same ominous glow. Upper teeth are attached to the upper jaw and point downward. They hang from above, ready to plunge into prey, toward the lower teeth sticking up. When the mimic mouth snaps shut, the upper and lower teeth will close with terrifying force. Nothing living can escape from these jaws. A double row of the sharpest fangs above and below. Teeth are positioned not exactly opposite each other, but offset. When the mouth closes, the upper teeth enter the gaps between the lower ones, and vice versa. Like the teeth of a closed zipper, this creates an absolutely deadly grip from which there is no escape. The victim is pierced by fangs from all sides simultaneously. Even if they do not die, immediately, escape will be impossible. The mimic firmly holds its prey and will not let go. One single bite decides the fate of any creature caught in this trap. In the lower front part of the mimic body, I make a passage for entering inside. As strange as it sounds, this will be a residential house, and you need a way to get inside, not through the mouth with teeth. I cut an opening in the brown terracotta of the front wall. I put large double doors in this opening. Now there is a normal civilized entrance to the house. Time to furnish the interior of the monster for comfortable living. I start placing furniture inside the red walls of the maw. First, I put a bed for sleeping. Even inside a terrifying mimic, a person needs somewhere to sleep. Rest is important after a hard day of adventures. The bed sits cozily against one of the walls. Next to it, I place an anvil with leaves to create homey comfort. I build bookshelves and an enchanting table for magical research. An educated mimic resident should develop their skills. I arrange the bookshelves in a special way. They form a small stepped pyramid around the enchanting table. This is not just beautiful, but also functional. The more bookshelves nearby, the stronger the available enchantments. I pay enough attention to this stage. Correct placement of shelves is critically important. They must be at a certain distance from the table, not too close and not too far. The pyramid shape allows placing maximum shelves in limited space. Now, you can apply the most powerful enchantments to any gear here. I add another anvil decorated with leaves in another corner of the room. Greenery is distributed evenly throughout the living space. Next to the bed, I put a nightstand and table lamp, a classic set for any bedroom. You can read a book before sleep in soft light. Comfort and coziness even inside a monster. Why not? In one part of the room, I place various chests for storage. On the opposite side, I install a work area, a crafting table for creating items, furnaces for smelting ore and cooking food, everything necessary for survival and development. A fully functional workshop inside a monster mouth. You can craft tools and weapons without leaving home. Very convenient and practical. For entertainment, I put a TV in a prominent place. Modern technology even in the belly of an ancient beast. Next to the TV, I place wardrobes for clothes and shoes. Organized wardrobe storage is important for any home. Opposite the screen, I put a comfortable sofa for viewing. You can relax in the evening after work. On the floor, I lay a carpet from black wool and red wool. The black and red pattern fits perfectly into the monster interior. Red mouth walls and red-black carpet. Color harmony, even in such an unusual place. On one of the walls, I hang a painting for decoration. Art ennobles any space, even a mimic stomach. To finish, I put a vanity table with a mirror for morning routines. You need somewhere to get yourself in order before going out. Great! My chest is ready. It's time for me to show it to the guys.
Wow, JJ. What is this? Is it really a mimic? He looks so realistic. I was even scared at first. JJ, you built it so superbly.
Thank you, guys. I am very glad that you liked my building. Friends, be sure to write in the comments whose building you like the most. Well, I think it's time for us to finish.
Yes, JJ, you're right.
Subscribe and like. Bye-bye.